This is Chris Lee from Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris, here to recap SEC baseball from Saturday, April 8th, and Easter Sunday, April the 9th. Meant to do this earlier, but Easter Sunday family stuff got in the way, so here we are doing it Monday morning. Okay, on Sunday, probably the surprise of the weekend, Kentucky swept by Georgia on Sunday. 3-0 and 6-2. Kentucky apparently just cannot hit lefties because the guys Georgia threw, in some cases, hadn't been getting anybody out, but got Kentucky out. Liam Sullivan for Georgia in that first game was brilliant. He throws a 7-inning shutout, 8 strikeouts, 4 hits, 4 walks. Charlie Goldstein in the second game goes 5 1/3, allows 2 unearned, strikes out 7, gives up 4 hits and a walk. Georgia got homers from the predictable trio of Charlie Condon, Connor Tate, Parks Harbor, and also got one from shortstop Sebastian Murillo in that second game. Kentucky was 1-8 coming into the weekend, is now 3-9, or excuse me, Georgia was. Kentucky is still the nation's #1 RPI team despite that loss. Okay, in Knoxville on Saturday, it was a wet day, and that seemed to bother Florida's pitching. The Gators gave up 18 walks and hit one guy in 7 innings. That is crazy. Jack Caglianone was terrible. He walked 6, gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. He just has not had any control of late. Tennessee had 7 hits and scored 14 runs. Not often you see that. And I talked about, to be fair, it was raining in that game, but didn't bother the Vols. Drew Beam has been really good. He's easily been the staff's best starter. He goes 7, strikes out 10, walks 1, gives up 2 runs, both earned. And I guess the good news for the Vols in this one, Cincinnati transfer Griffin Merritt finally got going in SEC play a little bit. He homered and doubled. The Vols in the weekend at 5-7, and Florida ends it at 9-3 in the league and tied now with Kentucky in that 3rd place slot. Arkansas goes into Oxford, wins that series 6-4. Razorbacks win the series 6-2. They piece together pitching from Will McIntyre, Dylan Carter, and Gage Wood. Ole Miss got a good start from TJ Quinn. Starting pitching has been an issue for the Rebels with Hunter Elliott on the shelf, but it didn't matter. Ole Miss just couldn't score enough runs. And frankly, as bad as the pitching has been for Ole Miss, the lineup is maybe lacked a little bit at times too. Jacob Gonzalez homered for Ole Miss. I think he did that twice this weekend. Caleb Cowley did it for Arkansas. Peyton Stovall knocked in a couple runs. Arkansas now sits alone atop the SEC West standings. Okay, Vanderbilt fell to Missouri on Friday night, got walked off. That's been Vandy's only conference loss of the season. The Commodores avenged that on Saturday. Devin Futrell won SEC Pitcher of the Week last week. He might win it again. He goes 7 1/3 shutout, walks nobody. The staff walked nobody in that game. RJ Schreck homered early for Vandy. Now, I tell you what, I watched Missouri this weekend, and every time I watch Missouri, that team looks really good to me. This series was right there for the whole time until Vanderbilt broke it open late in Saturday's game. Vandy wins a 1-run game on Thursday. Missouri wins a 1-run game on Friday. And then Vandy gets the 5-0 win on Saturday. But I thought Chandler Murphy, their starter, their lefty from Arizona, looked really good. He allowed 4. He walked 4, gave up 5 hits. I thought he pitched a little better than the line suggested. But anyway, this was a competitive series. Maybe that shouldn't be surprising since Missouri's been tough at home. That's how it played out. Missouri now 4-8, and I think a better team than that. Vandy 11-1 sits alone atop the SEC overall standings. Now, the surprise of the weekend to me was Mississippi State, which had 1 win coming into the weekend, going to Alabama, winning the series 2-1 in Tuscaloosa. I keep thinking Alabama is better than the record shows, and I'm going to still stick to that. But I'm starting to worry a little bit. Alabama has not won a series yet. It's gone 1-2 every weekend. This was a great opportunity for the Crimson Tide. Should have been able to beat State twice, but couldn't. In the deciding game, on Saturday, State went back to Nate Dahm out of the bullpen. He gave the Bulldogs 4 shutout innings to close that one. Kellum Clark, Hunter Hines, Ross Highfield all homered. I've said this before. State's offense has been really good. It just hasn't gotten noticed because the pitching has been so bad. Don't ask me to explain Alabama. I keep looking under the hood at the stats. I see a better team than the record shows, but it just hasn't been happening. Elsewhere, I think the most disappointing thing of the weekend was seeing LSU Carolina get rained out. I really wanted to see a game 3 in that series to give me a little bit more clarity on those teams. LSU has not pitched lately much outside of Ace Paul Skeens, who's been unhittable until he wasn't on Thursday night. South Carolina really going without Noah Hall. I didn't know how Carolina would handle LSU's lineup without having him as a piece of the puzzle. Well, we never really found out because that game got rained out. So right now, LSU and South Carolina are the only teams not to have played 12 games in the conference so far. The standings, we've got those scrolling across the bottom of the screen, or I thought I had. Let me put those up here so you can see what it looks like. You've got Vandy in the East, which is just a crazy. South Carolina at 9-2 second. Kentucky and Florida tied at 9-3. Tennessee at 5-7. Vols have played a brutal schedule and more to come. Missouri 4-8. Georgia 3-9. And in the West, you got Arkansas on top alone at 8-4. LSU a half game behind. A&M at 5-7 now, putting itself in position to do some things. Alabama and Auburn at 4-8 and getting there in different ways. Mississippi State in 3-9. Ole Miss. Man, Ole Miss, the defending national champion, the worst record now in the SEC. Okay, we'll have more stuff coming up on our channel. We'll do power rankings. We'll do probably a midweek notebook where we'll rank hitters and pitchers and maybe look into some other things. We'll probably do some series previews next weekend. Best way to get all that, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps our analytics too. Again, I'm going to try to do SEC baseball videos just about every day between now and the end of the season. So we'll try to keep them short, under 10 minutes for the most part. But if you just want a good place to check in and know what's going on in the SEC around the league every day, I think you'll love our channel. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 14.